Tim, welcome to our channel and thanks for logging on. Today we're discussing the IWC Portuguese hand wound. You can see this IWC hand wound Portuguese and purchase it on our website. Subscribe to our YouTube channel if you enjoy these videos, and please click on the card in the upper right hand corner of the screen at any time during this video to see our full sales listing for this watch, with additional accessories included in the sale, high resolution images, and naturally full pricing details for this reference 5454-04. Now on my wrist, 6 1/3 inches, 16 centimeters in circumference, this may be the truest modern iteration of the original Portuguese reference 325, the very first 1939 Portugieser in the native German of IWC Schaffhausen. Now that watch combined the concept of a pocket watch movement, ultra accurate, with the format of a wristwatch, but because of the size of the pocket watch caliber, the watch had to be huge, almost 40 millimeters compared to, say, a Patek Philippe reference 96 at 31 millimeters in the same period. The original Portuguese was born big, a monster in its day. The world changed around it, and today we regard the size and the proportions as nearly perfect for modern tastes. Now you can see it's 44 millimeters across the round of the case from 9 o'clock to 3 o'clock, not inclusive of the crown, as any dress watch should be, especially a manual wind. It is very thin, 10 millimeters thick, but you'll note with the generously domed sapphire, it slides underneath a dress cuff, the sleeve being completely unencumbered and easily surmounting the flank of this watch. 52 millimeters from lug to lug, extremity to extremity may sound like a lot until you see how tightly curved those lugs are. They arc around the tight curve of a smaller forearm like mine, and I'll demonstrate this to good effect, but they drape the watch rather than sticking out stridently against the flanks of your wrist. So even if your wrist is as small as 15 centimeters in circumference, you're going to wear this one with a good sense of security and proportion. Now the watch is beautifully rendered, possibly the ultimate combination of colors, a white metal case with white metal highlights and a black dial. The gorgeous metallic sub-register really pops against that matte black backdrop, and it's all complemented by a gorgeous black rectangular scale alligator leather strap, alligator being de rigueur for dress watches, folded seams and a monotone stitch. There's a versatile and simple IWC pin buckle outboard, alternately polished on its bevel and satin finished or brushed on its top. Now the case band is fairly complex. You can see there's a bit of tumble home to the lugs, rolling off to the side but also curving tightly like a horn around the wrist. It's surprisingly complex for what appears to be a simple watch at first glance. Likewise, you'll note there's a slight concave arc to the bezel, which is a thin hairline of polished metal around that gorgeous and oversized dial. Likewise, there's a contrast between the case back and the bezel, both in high polish, and the satin finished case band. It differentiates the metal and it makes the most of the surface that's there. Of course, the case is pared down to give ultimate emphasis to the dial itself, the signature of any Portuguese, combining the blended lugs with the round watch case size. You can see this one's very true to the 1939 original, with a railroad style minute track and a gorgeous extended sprawling leaf style hand that just kisses that railroad section of sectors. Beautiful polished and simple Art Deco style Arabic numerals, and then at 6 o'clock a slightly countersunk sub-register with concentric silver metallic guilloche, its own railroad track to trace the arc of the baton-style seconds hand, with a small shock of red at 60. Now the watch does have a hacking function, which is stop seconds, so if you pull the crown when the seconds hand reaches 60, and then set the watch ahead, for instance, to the next nearest minute, against a reference time online like an atomic clock, you just wait for the reference time to catch up precisely with the time you've set, then you push the crown back in, the beat of the seconds continues, now you've synchronized the watch. That's what hacking seconds does for you. And this is what a true pocket watch movement does for you, an extraordinarily beautiful and visible display case back. Now this is the IWC reference 98295. It's a descendant of the original family of 98 pocket watch calibers, themselves descendants of the engine of the original IWC reference 325. Now you can see all the characteristics of a pocket watch: traditional center wheel architecture, manual wind. It's like a case study in watchmaking. You can follow the transmission of power from the crown to the crown wheel to the ratchet wheel. You can note the click and the click spring that prevents the barrel from moving backwards. The barrel's under the ratchet wheel, transmitting to the center wheel, then to the third wheel, the fourth wheel, the escape wheel. You can see the lever oscillating, the pallet itself, and then impulsing the balance. Big pocket watch style, it beats away at a stately chug-a-chug locomotive style 18,000 vibrations per hour or 2.5 hertz. You can see the extended Jones style index, a micrometric adjuster inherited from the American founder of IWC, who liked to design fine regulation devices in exactly this fashion. Now, just as the watch gives you a broad and open view of the transmission of power, it also allows you to see certain functions and features that would ordinarily be hidden on a more compact movement or an automatic. You can see just below my finger there's actually a hacking lever that when the crown is withdrawn, you can see it slightly splayed out, comes in contact with the balance and stops the seconds. Now you'll note, watch that spot precisely as I replace the crown. The hacking lever pops back out and releases the balance. Again, nothing is held from the eyes as it inspires the imagination. And the watch has a vintage-style handmade Breguet overcoil hairspring on that giant balance so that it beats concentrically regardless of position, somewhat defying the effects of gravity on the deviation of the movement. That's the benefit of a Breguet overcoil. That's why Rolex uses it. So you have a watch that is a beautiful historic tribute without being a retro watch. True to IWC's heritage, nevertheless, this is a contemporary statement of style, manufacturing quality, and materials. An up-to-date 21st century watch in every respect that pays homage to the best of the 20th century. You can see it and you can buy it on our website.